looking straight at your eyes, please be mindful. And these cheap drones are not for you. This is what you have, like you see with cables and all that jazz. So this is shouting its quality. This is a cheap drone. And when you do that, you need to turn on this guy. I've already paired this, but I don't know if the pairing will work. And then let me show you basically how it navigates and why I don't like it. You need to use this to start. See, there's no auto takeoff, but it is silent. That I like. And this one is the one who can actually carry a GoPro Hero 6 like this one. So this is kind of my favorite, but again, I equally don't recommend it to anyone. And there's the trimmer, and also it's a nice idea that it stops. There's a trimmer for left, right, you use this one. If it's, going forward and backward without you wanting to do that, you trim it like this. And if it's spinning around itself, you trim it from here. So let's go ahead and fly this. Now we start. As I told you, there's no auto takeoff. So you actually need to use this and use this gently. See? You need to really be gentle, otherwise look how it bounces, because I'm not familiar with manual drones that much. And look. Yep. What's going on? And also I gave myself a nice cut. Yep. And look. If I let it go, drifts, okay, trim forward. See? And whenever you do something that you would normally do on a more expensive and I'm gonna say proper drone, this happens. All right. And we stopped, of course. And how is my bleeding going on? Yeah. Yay. They gave me a shit drone. Here is the round 2 with, what was it called? Force 1 F100 Ghost. And it's more silent even, which is a good thing. No, the other one was more silent actually. This is a bit louder. I mean, it's almost the same drone, by the way. I mean, I have a little better control over this, but again, no Hero 6, no deal. Okay, this is actually better. But again, the loss of power is imminent. Like, your control over the throttle should be really exact. Otherwise, this will just drift away. And again, anything that I'm doing now is actually magnified. I'm sure it will, on an open space, it will be easier. But I want my drone to perform. And apparently, it needs to be more expensive than this. I mean, apologies to those who already bought this and now looking for a good endorsement, but I cannot endorse a product of this caliber. When we click on auto landing, it actually starts the engine running but does not take off. Let's go. Whoa, whoa. Ah, come on. Land. No. On. Off. Stop. Don't stop. Fly. Fly. Come on, it was just a minor incident, buddy. Fly. This is on, and altitude hold is on. Vamos. Let's take off. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, 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 hey. Go straight. Nope. Stop. Stop. Okay, now here is DJI's mini drone Tello, and just see the difference. For takeoff, you just say takeoff. Yep, stays there. You see it? Doesn't go anywhere. When you do that, the sensor actually says there's something below me. That's why it does that. Otherwise, look, absolute control. Look. And this is a stupid tello drone. I just see this and just guess how. And you see, I don't even have a, what was it called? I don't even have a remote, and yet it's so easy. Look, look. I mean, seriously, when this drone is $100, how can anyone recommend people using something else? Look, I mean, look how stable it is. Just take a look at it. Does it move? No. Up, up, forward, forward, backward, backward. Look how much effective control I have over this. And this is a tiny drone. I mean, look, I'm just gonna do stunts over the other ugly drones. Look, this is the view, by the way. I first thought of making actually separate videos for each drone, but my overall experience was rather negative for both drones. Not because they are not working or not flying, but because of eventually what they are is actually not beginner drones. Or they are not suitable for beginners at all because they lack many functionalities that, you know, more expensive yet advanced drones offer. And I think these are more of a training tool than a proper beginner's drone. Okay, let me explain why I said all this. Because let me talk to you about my experience before. I flew more expensive drones earlier, like Parrots, Anafi, DJI Spark, Phantom, and Mavic Air. And of course the price is not comparable, but calling these beginner drones is a big mistake in my opinion, because these are rather difficult. Okay, let me show you what drones I have today with me. I have Contexo's F17 and Force One's F100 Ghost. Both drones were sent to me by respective brands, so I'm sure they will be a bit upset because I'm doing this kind of review, but my overall experience was not so positive. That's why I need to pass on this information. I'm seeing like many drone YouTubers praising these stuff, but they're actually not that easy. Especially offering this as a first drone is a bit weird in my opinion. These are not beginners drones. These are poor man's drones, okay? So let's get the difference. They do not offer any of the functionality or safety measures that proper drones offer. These are just, I mean, the good thing is that they keep you honest because of the flight configuration. On any of the drones that I mentioned earlier, the expensive ones, I think Spark is not expensive anymore, seriously. 2 something for this one, and there's Spark now for 3 something. Of course, if that $100 makes a difference for you and you can't really afford it, I mean, I would advise you to still wait instead of going to these. I know it really doesn't sound like a sponsored video, but hear me out. This is a very honest video. On YouTube, you see people doing amazing stuff with cameras, drones, whatever, but here, this is like almost a homemade video. And I want to focus on your experience, how you will actually do this. And for example, let's talk about Contexo's F17 first. This comes in this box. I mean, this, sorry, yeah. So this is the box. This is actually a beautiful box, but the problem is that once you set it up, you end up with this. And you can see here that, you know, these are all screws. So once screwed in place, try to put it in this box. Impossible. You see, like this is the box, this is the thingy. Obviously will not fit. And sorry, this goes here, this goes there. And setting up was not easy. But again, by the way, this may end up my favorite cheap drone. Doesn't mean that they are useful or that none of these are something that I would recommend, to be frank with you. With a drone like this, you will not only hurt yourself, but you would also cause some damage to others. So unless you know what you're doing, do not start with these. But again, I do recommend getting one.
only for this use case, if you would like to train, because when you're learning to fly a drone, especially for photography purposes, smoothness matters a lot. I still don't have it. These require you to be absolutely smooth, or as smooth as you can, because otherwise you lose control. So to learn the smoothness that you would easily transfer that experience to more expensive drones, go ahead and buy one. What else can I say? I mean, I'm really looking forward to, or looking for, finding something useful, but there's none. Like, I don't know why people are selling this. This is actually like an environmental disaster. This much plastic being spent on something as useless, by the way, I'm using this, but this is also equally useless, is, in my opinion, not a good idea. If you would like to take it as a toy, if you would like it as a training tool, yes, but they are not useful for photography. Like, let me get it very clear. These are not good for photography. I know that to get a message through on YouTube, you need to make something sensational, and I have a plan about that too, so don't forget to subscribe. But, you know, this is not it, guys. Like, the experiences people share on YouTube, these needs to be, or deserve to be bashed for honesty purposes. Honestly, people are not doing that, and I am disappointed with those YouTubers. Like, then you need to listen to those guys with another eye open, or with another level of communication, to look for minor details, because whatever they pointed out, like this big, ended up being this big. Like, flying a drone is a lot more serious of a deal than I thought it would be. So I'm like looking straight at your eyes. Please be mindful, and these cheap drones are not for you. At least rent you know, more secure, expensive drone before trying these, so you know what drones are. I mean, I live by the proverb, I can never afford to buy cheap, and I think that argument is totally valid for this one. You think this is cheap, but you will end up either getting an add-on for this, or 3D printing something for this, or get terrible footage and cause yourself some trouble. So this review will be brief, but again, the overall message here is that cheap drones are cheap drones. They are not beginner drones. Beginner drone is a Spark. You know, something a little bit more consistent, something that you know will behave properly. So listen to my advice. Unless you really want to get a taste of drones and you know what you're doing, and ideally, if you already used a couple of drones and you know the basics, you can try these. All right, thanks for watching this video. There will be more cheap drones covered. I will tell you honestly if I find the unicorn of cheap drones, but they are not there, and these are not something that I can easily tell you to buy. All right, thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time.